What's going on YouTube? It's your boy. Today I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how to gear up in Elyon. Some of these tips are going to be basic, some of them you may not know. Gearing up in Elyon is all about consistency and player knowledge. So the more knowledge you improve and the more consistent you are with your dailies and getting your actual gear, the more chances you'll have at rolling gear and beating RNG. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop into the game. I'll show you my gear. I'm gonna let you know what I've been doing in order to gear up. Alright, so I just cleaned up my UI really quickly, that way you can see everything that I'm seeing. So I'm currently 483, and the reason I am 483 is because of my +8 pieces of gear and +9s, as well as my breakthrough secondary and my breakthrough chest. I just got my chest breakthrough +8, and this is only because if I go on my storage here, I hit level 45 and I actually got my first legendary, but it only rolled +7, and +7 legendary is not as good as a +8 breakthrough. So this should let you guys know how strong breakthroughs are. I would probably recommend that you guys go breakthrough pants. That way, if you get to 45, you will get this legendary chest piece from the Transcendent dungeons at the end, the equipment manual top, and hopefully you will be able to balance your gear out a bit more than me. However, I'm going to end up going with a 4-piece PvP set, or at least 2-piece PvP set, so not truly worried about it. But that's my recommendation for you high level players. And while I'm in the Transcendent dungeons, they give enhancement blue magic stones, which are used for your enhancements. And then they also give you a lot of gold, character XP, mana XP, which is all going to be used to level up your character. For the Hall of Challenges, again, it's kind of the same materials. They give you enhancement stones, safe enhancements. These are all very, very useful materials for gearing up your character. The normal dungeons, once you hit level 40, you basically want to save all of your dungeons until your growth quests, if you're new and you're doing growth quests. But until your growth quests tell you to do a dungeon, you shouldn't be doing any dungeons. But after you hit level 40, you should only be doing the 5-mans at the highest stage possible, which my guild is currently doing stage 2s about 2 or 3 groups a day. So that should be where the majority of the game is, who's near 400 item level. If you're new and you're below 400 item level, do stage 1. And I say you do the 5-man because even though it says it's only giving you 1 dungeon conquest badge, it's actually giving you 3. And the fact that it's giving you 3 with a chance for purple gear with enhancement reset scrolls at level 40 is going to be better than just the 3 and the money bag here, because it's less of a chance for purple. The loot at the top of the list is more common, whereas at the bottom of the list is more rare. So for these level 40, even stage 1 is better to do than the level 40 of these dungeons. And like I said, if you have the people, you should always be doing stage 2s. Okay? Now, outside of these dungeons, your first pieces of gear, once you hit Crescent Molar Foothold and you're about 40 and 42, they're going to come from your growth quests. Make sure you're doing all of your growth quests in order to get your epics, your first epics, which are going to be knights. If you get them from the quest line, they cannot be unbound. But the items that are gotten from open world, like my sword, even though it's knights, can be unbound. You can see under the succession available from +10, item bound to 5, and it says can unbind. Like I said, anything that's gotten open world can be unbound, but if you get it from the quest, and you level it up, it can't. That being said, when you get your first items from the quest line, if you fail once, don't waste any more purple enhancement stones on the gear, these refined ones. However, mostly what you want to be doing is fusing 10 of these. You can fuse 10 of these armor enhancement stones into a refined armor, and same for weapon. So once you get your first pieces of gear from the quest line, you want to use the purples and try to enhance. But if you fail, stop trying. Like, you look at my boots, they're plus 10 because I literally didn't fail once. You look at my helmet, it's plus 8 because I didn't fail once. And once I get another plus 8 helmet, I'm going to try and take it to plus 10. If you look at my chest piece, obviously I didn't fail once. It's plus 8 because I didn't fail once, or it would have broke. The breakthroughs, if you fail, they actually get destroyed. For the regular armor, you don't want to waste material. So if it fails, like I said, just stop enhancement. Or maybe if you want the extra stats, just use a blue. Don't waste purples on gear that doesn't have the potential to go plus 10. If it still has potential to go plus 10 or plus 8, it's your call. But technically it is a waste of materials. It's better to sell it or get rid of it. So now that I've informed you about the starter gear, the epics gear, where you're going to get the rest of your gear is the token exchange. You come into token exchange, the Laurel Reese shop, in game, you're going to be using Blessed Laurel Reese and farming open world. Mid game, and when I say by end game, is like 470 plus item level, nearing 500 item level. Even I'm barely breaking the barrier for end game, just starting to use my Laurel Reese. You can also do the Sandy Foothills. You want to be getting the Sandy Foothills reward key every single day after you hit level 40. This is going to give you your accessories. I've gotten this purple Apostles Drain accessory out of this dungeon. They're rare, but they do drop. And the Memories of the Moment keys. These Memories of the Moment keys, you take 3. And then you take 3 of the Radiant Upgrade Stone Powder. And you can make a Moment of the Steel Weapon box or a Moment of the Steel Armor box. So you want to be buying these Memories of the Moment keys daily. Like I said, every 3 days, the only thing you should get out of here is a breakthrough weapon or chest. The most important breakthrough to go for is your secondary weapon. I'm going to do secondary weapon, chest piece, and then primary weapon. And then I'm going to go PvP gloves, and then PvP pants. And I'm going to find a way to replace my helmet. Outside of the Memories of the Moment keys for breakthroughs, the only other way to get breakthroughs is spending your dungeon conquest badges, which, if I sort my inventory, you'll see them right here. Right click. I spent all mine yesterday and I broke my breakthrough. I broke 2 breakthroughs yesterday. Yesterday's reset. It happens. But essentially once you hit 35, you're just going to buy a Moment of the Steel armor or weapon box. Like I said, your first breakthrough is going to be a secondary. I recommend once you get your first breakthrough plus 4, do not enhance it unless you have a backup. It's better to get plus 4 breakthrough offhand and then plus 4 breakthrough chest, or if you're gonna go full damage, breakthrough offhand and then breakthrough weapon. Get your first 2 breakthroughs to plus 4 at least before you try and take a breakthrough you already have past plus 4. And when you try and take it past plus 4, make sure you have a backup, because if it breaks, and when it breaks, you want to still have something to wear. If it's not plus 4 for the first one, it's kind of fine, because you get fragments, in which I'm going to hop over to my other character to show you. These fragments can be used for limited pieces to hold you over until you get the major pieces, like the actual breakthroughs. It's like a consultation feature. Once you actually break your breakthrough, they give you fragments that can be used to buy limited breakthrough gear, which lasts a couple days. And this couple days should be enough for you to farm enough materials to hopefully get another chance at getting a +4 breakthrough. I'm gonna log on my warlord here because I have a few of these pieces that are holding him over right now. With his boots on, my warlord is only started a day ago and he's 400, like around 400 item level. I'm still missing a blue. Well, my PvP piece, a blue that I'm gonna turn into purple. I'm still missing that, and I'm still missing like an actual helmet. But I'm using a breakthrough chest and a breakthrough offhand +4. I will replace these before the timer ends in 2 days. And then at reset, I can also buy him some more. But how I'm buying those is actually through the scattered equipment fragments. You just right click, and every week you can buy one of these to hold your character over. It will have random rune slots, so you won't be able to have the best rune optimization. But these breakthroughs are going to be much better than the quest gear. Although keep in mind at 42, you do get a epic knights offhand that has 6 rune slots. I'm sorry, it's not called knights. It's actually called something else. I can't remember the name of it, but it's going to be an epic offhand that has 6 rune slots. It is good, but it's not better than a breakthrough secondary, because the breakthrough secondary gives you your 5th equipment slot, which is on my C slot here. This breakthrough secondary is going to be mandatory, and you want to go for it as soon as possible by collecting those dungeon conquest badges. And then once you've got most of your characters geared and the gear you need, you can start saving them for binding stones to go to legendary, or you can start getting the epic equipment random effect changers if you're going to be sitting in your epic equipment for a while. I'm personally going to be going for the binding stones because I'm pretty close to my first legendary boots, and that'll be a pretty fat upgrade. Outside of that, your rings, every ring should have a guaranteed chance, 100% chance to go to +5. Anything after +5 is 50%. So once you're leveling up your rings, you have to smash the same type of ring into the other. Like, I can take one of these hunter's rings and smash the second one into it, and it's free all the way up until +5. And what you want to do is you want to raise the top stat, the green stat, for the first 5, and then for the next ones, you can lower the decreased minimal stat. So that's how you want to choose your stats when you're going through the accessory upgrades. Okay. So the only other thing that I haven't showed you guys is enchantment. So the enchantment, you have to use these purple magic stones, and then you go to an enchantment merchant in the town, and what's going to happen is the UI pops up just like it says in this tooltip, and you get a random stat roll on all of your enchants, and the best stat rolls are going to be accuracy. You're going to be rolling for accuracy on every piece of your purple gear, but you need the purple magic stones in order to roll on epic grade gear. Keep that in mind. Another thing, the last thing I want to mention is PvP gear. The PvP gear, even though it's blue, can be converted to purple. You basically you buy one of these pieces, right? And then you get it to +6. You need to make sure it has enough slots to go to +6, but you get it to +6, and then you upgrade it at the upgrade artisan in the town. Now the upgrade artisan is going to require 15 of the same fragments. So if it's gloves, you need 15 glove fragments. in order to upgrade it to purple or epic. And then after it goes epic, the plus is going to reset on it, but you'll have an epic piece of PvP gear that, just like my pants here, and you can just level those up. These purple pants right here were made out of blues. Like I said, it's the exact method I followed. And I'm gonna get the gloves, that way I have a 2-piece PvP set on my warlord, and he's gonna be 440 or 450 probably by the end of today, if I can get him some good accessories as well. I know there's been a lot of knowledge, you guys. And the last thing that I want to mention is having the money to do this is also important. So in order to do that, you need to be doing your dimensional portals off rip. The best dimensional portal is Exile's Isle, because the main rewards are bags of gold and enhanced items. Exile's Isle is the weekly. It pops at these times throughout the day. You need to make sure that you're going in there and spending your weekly portal, which weekly portal time is character based. So if you have multiple characters, you can go into the weekly portal multiple times per week. So outside of these bags from the merchants and the enhancement items from the merchants, which you get these from the main currency, you can also go to the heart vendors at the south and the north, and these heart vendors will allow you to also get bags of gold. The southern ones are the two with the bags of gold. The northern merchant is the one with the dungeon conquest badges, the northernmost black market merchant. But you have to farm all the keys in these zones in order for these merchants to spawn. So keep that in mind. The last thing I want to mention for you guys is runes, okay? So runes, you want to get to T4 as soon as possible. And after you get to T4, you start polishing. This is a brand new character, and I have mostly T3s. But on my main, I have all T4s, and the ones with the best stats are polished. Because keep in mind, even runes have stats. You see how this one has critical hit, this one has skill attributes. The main stats you're looking for on runes is going to be either accuracy, crit, or skill attributes. Long-term players are going to be going for skill attributes, that way you can get the extra skill attributes in order to reach those higher brackets. The next most important is going to be accuracy, and then after that it's going to be crit. All three of those are highly important, so those are the ones you're going to be trying to take to tier 4. Wouldn't really recommend taking any of the other ones to tier 4. If you got a T4 and it's those stats, it is what it is, but you want to go for those stats primary on your runes. Okay? And one last thing I forgot to mention since we're talking about stats is the random effects on your gear can be changed, but that does also determine the item level. So the best random stats for each piece of gear is mostly determined by class. For boots, it's movement speed. And this, I'm just going to give you the top 1 or 2, but for boots, it's movement speed. For gloves, it's max attack or projectile crit rate, depending upon your class. But you want to really go for max attack. For pants, it's going to be critical hit resistance. For the chest, it's going to be critical hit resistance. And then for the top, it's going to be critical hit power. Or for the helmet. And for the weapon, it's going to be again max attack. Decreased cooldowns is also really good, but I would always roll for max attack if I can. For the secondary, it's the same. It's max attack. Critical hit power and decreased cooldowns are still pretty important for your weapons. And then for your class, it varies per class for your accessories. So you really just want the highest grade accessories, and you're going to have to play around with them. But I think that's been a good amount of knowledge, you guys. Been a very good amount of knowledge. Thank you guys for watching. If I left anything out, please drop it in the comment section below. I thank you for watching.